Kategari, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hope we're having a great day today. It is... What day is it? Is it Thursday? It's Thursday. It is Thursday. Now, folks, today is a bit of an exciting day. I can make a major announcement. I can make a major announcement on tonight's stream. So maybe when there are more people here, I can in fact make that announcement.
So he's not at the hotel today?
Until then, we shall just act as we normally act. Today I wanted to do the Dehya story quest. Finally learn about her backstory. Apparently the Dehya story quest is very much to do with Dehya. She was younger from what I gather. Really delve. We back? Really delving into the life of the Eremites. So yeah. Looking forward to learning more about the Eremites and about Dehya's upbringing.
Ever seen one of these?
Hey, Raiderites.
Let's get it on!
Damn, did I render something lately on my computer? Hey, Kennesaw, how's it going? Damn, as soon as you heard the beat, lol.
You're dead meat!
Well, since everyone's here, I can make the announcement soon. Feels like the game's a bit laggy. What's going on? Set the graphic. I'll set it to 45 frames a second. I still want anti-aliasing, but we don't have to go too hardcore on the frame rate. Just going to FGO and it's pretty good. What's the plan for today? We're going to be going through the Dehya story quest. That's the plan for today. And you know, everything else is everything else. It is what it is. Oh, I do need to fight the bosses to continue pre-farming for Shenhe. Turns out I'm not quite done with pre-farming for Shenhe. I thought I was, but that appears to no longer be the case. Hey!
Got something for ya.
Like, for those who weren't around, I think it was like Tuesday? Did I do this on Tuesday? I think I did this on Tuesday. I did a 10 pull on the standard banner with my completely free wishes, my completely free fates on the 10 pull. I got a Sky Harp, like, which is basically a back-to-back 5-star, I think. Because I did just get Kategari constellations recently, so I'll probably need to update my Paimon on Moe to find out like what my actual like luckiness was. But I got a Sky Harp, which basically means I have an R4 Sky Harp. And what's interesting about that is that it seems like, on Meltloy at the very least, R4 Sky Harp might be better than just R0 Thunder, not Thunder Pulse, R0 Polar Star? So, I get the feeling I'm gonna go right back to my roots. Hey, Red Drone, how's it going? How it goes, my man? I'm doing very well, thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm very excited. We'll finish the dailies and then I will make the big announcement. Feel free to guess in the chat what you reckon the announcement actually is. It's very exciting. Give her appropriate dye materials. I'll just give you a friggin' berry, one of those big ass berries that I, for some inexplicable reason, why do I have like 700 of these berries? I don't even use them. What the hell do you use them for? You know, like what? Is that like a friggin' pineapple pie that I could be making en masse, but I'm just not for some reason? Your Lisa addiction is finally ending. That's not something to be excited for. Right. If my Lisa addiction ends, that will be a sad day for everyone. There are not as many Lisa mains as you may think. One less Lisa main is just absolutely terrible. Kennesaw thinks I'm in a relationship. That is a very interesting guess. It is wrong, but it is a very interesting guess. I'm going full-time streaming. That would unironically be not a good announcement because that would imply that I'd be fired. And we don't want that, do we, folks?
Ever seen one of these? You're stuck.
Oh no, no, got her.
Belongs to ice and snow.
Anyway, yeah, if I start full-time streaming, that implies that I've left my job, and I have no intention of leaving my job willingly. So that would imply that I was fired, and thus I would be unemployed. Aloy finally got some attention from the devs. Yes, I cannot believe it. You actually guessed the announcement. Folks, you heard it here on the Kategari stream. As the #1 Aloy, not necessarily #1 Aloy main, but as the #1 Aloy theory crafter, because I'm the only fucking Aloy theory crafter in the world, let's be real here. As the Aloy theory crafter, I am happy to announce that after a lot of background talk and discussions and a lot of interfacing with Hoyoverse, specifically with Darway himself, I have finally secured Aloy constellations. That's right. Aloy will be getting constellations in 3.7. That is my announcement tonight. There we go. That is my announcement tonight, folks. So get ready. Ooh, Aloy constellations. Let's go.
Let's get going.
For the record, that's not the announcement. I'm doing alright. I just got up to go to the bathroom before I go to bed. I saw you were on, so I wanted to say hi and see what you're doing, but I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, man. Stick around for a sec because the real announcement is going to come out soon. What's Oh wait, I don't need to do that anymore because I'm running freaking Skyhop. Alright. Hoya!
Let's get it on. The hunch is on.
Everything died. Oh, thank God the RNG gods are merciless on FGO. Need to wait, oh thank God the RNG gods are merciless on FGO. Need to save my luck. Didn't even do Archon hunts to preserve it. Oh no! I haven't even done my Archon hunt this week. But I believe this week should be Crimson Shard. So it is actually so at least in my opinion, it's actually a good Archon hunt to do. Last week was blue, right? And then when we actually got Pity into the game for Archon hunts, it started off with yellow, I want to say. So yeah, now is a good time to actually do the Archon hunt. Very important.
Ad Astra.
Ad Astra Abersosk. Alright. Oi!
Ad Astra.
Dehya, watch out. Been very busy with medical problems over the past 2 months. Damn. Would you like to share with the class what's going on? It's up to you. If it's super duper personal shit, don't worry about it, obviously. But like, would you like to share with the class? Is everything all right? Are you still alive? Okay, well, you're welcome to share. I wouldn't say more than welcome, because that implies that I am demanding that you share your medical problems. I'm not demanding that you share your medical problems. If you wish to share your medical problems and what's going on with your life, go ahead. I'm not gonna be like that friggin' streamer who's like, yo, where have you been? And they're like, dude, my mom died. And then I'm like, well, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to talk about that because that's a fucking bummer. Like, no. I've asked what's going on and you said medical problems. Awesome. If you want to talk about them, go ahead. Don't be like that guy. Don't be like that guy. Back to guessing, guess you got early access to the Viri Paradox? Yes! You're absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, the big announcement that I can make is that I've gotten closed beta access to the Viri Paradox, which means I will be testing the new Paris Prime Incarnon tree. And I will tell you precisely how it turns the Paris Prime into a beyond god tier weapon that is already the Paris Prime, especially in my hands, is beyond god tier. But with the closed beta access to the Deviri Paradox, and thus the closed beta access to the Paris Prime Incarnon tree, boom shakalaka, I will be able to tell you precisely how strong the Paris Prime is going to be. Yep. And that is why you need to tune in to Kategari videos. Isn't that right? For the record, that's not the announcement. Anyway. That being said though, the time has finally arrived. I think it's time to actually do the announcement. Alright, here we go. Okay. This is the real announcement, folks. For the past 2 years, I have found myself in a state that I would personally define as self-imposed exile. As some of you may have realized, for the past almost 2 years, the stream and the videos have been recorded in various different rooms that look absolutely nothing like the original room with which I have been making videos in. And that is because, for the past 2 years, in Brisbane, I have been finding work. I have been working in Brisbane in a couple of different studios. It started with a studio called Pixel Zoo, where I worked on some animations, and that was pretty interesting. And then I was brought on to a different studio by the name of Alt, where I have been working on some live action production. So that's been very exciting, especially for the last year and a half. I've been really just going like pound town, like just basically going super duper hardcore on a lot of live action productions. We've made all sorts of crazy ass things, and recently one of the movies that we made was released on Netflix, so woohoo, awesome. But folks, a part of this is about to come to an end. I can announce that on the 19th of March, being a Sunday,
but at least it doesn't
I will
what you see is what you get. And
be
moving
back
to the
home
challenge is
on a
entirely up to you.
permanent basis. Kategari is going home. I'm going back to Sydney, not because I was fired, but because I will be working still for Alt in Sydney. So, I'm going home. And it is something that I am really excited to finally do. The folks there think that I have become, you know,
Give it a good
enough
old rub.
at the job.
Yeah, boy.
And I've also, and you know, like what's also happened is that I also worked from the Sydney office for like a bit here and there. So for example, like start of this year, I was streaming from Sydney because I was streaming from home. But during that entire like month of streaming from home, I was also working from the Sydney office. And you may remember back, if you like think back a bit, we have had some streams where I was streaming from home again in Sydney, because during those couple of weeks I was able to take that time and actually work from the Sydney office. So with that, demonstrating that, oh yeah, no, it's actually I can actually function pretty well whilst being in the Sydney office, A-OK. And then on top of the assessment of, oh yeah, he's actually learned a hell of a lot over the past year and a half, and so we're pretty confident. I'm talking from like from the company perspective, we're pretty confident that he will be doing absolutely perfectly fine in the Sydney office, and also chatting with people who are also working in the Sydney office, yada yada yada. Very, very excited to actually be able to work in the Sydney office. So yeah, I'm coming home. Let's go. Yes. I'm coming home. Yeah, that's it. That's the announcement. Woohoo! Oh. Now, someone did a hats off. One sec. Alright. What movie did you do? Yeah, it's a movie called True Spirit. Which is a movie that I can actually talk about because it was released on Netflix and it's pretty much public knowledge that we worked on it. I posted something on the community tab on YouTube, which shows my name in the credits. That's right, your boy has his name in the credits. Yeah, yeah. It's a movie about a girl. It's actually a movie that based on a true story. So you might remember, in a long time ago, there was this chick called Jessica Watson, an Australian chick called Jessica Watson, and what she did was she circumnavigated the world, and it was very interesting. Like, it was very important. Like, this is a very important thing because I think she ended up being the youngest person ever to circumnavigate the world, sail around the world. And so this movie was about that. I, #RealTalk, didn't think this was going to be a movie that I liked. Because as we worked on it, we saw little bits of it as we worked on it, and it genuinely did not sound like something that I was going to be interested in. Having watched it, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, no, not gonna lie, it's actually pretty good. So, yeah, go check it out. It's on Netflix. I mainly worked on a couple of scenes, a couple of shots of her inside the boat rather, and then a couple of shots of her mum, like, sort of chatting to her while while it's nighttime. So that was my contribution. Because I work in post-production, like, it's pretty much like, it's often difficult to see like what I did per se, because you wouldn't know like what actually happened. Oh my god.
Nowhere to run.
Busted. Quietly now. Power that ended fight. Stay put.
Judgment is upon.
Hota! Oh, that's gonna be annoying. I need like 26 of these things, don't I? So... how many do I have now? 22. Okay, I think I need 4 more. That should be correct. That should be correct. Shenhe. Because I'm gonna get her to like level 80. I'm just gonna pre-farm Shenhe to level 80, just to start off with. And you know, if I really want to get her to level 90, I can do that later. But it's like what? 12, 8 is 20, 26. Yeah, 26. Sweet. Okay. Do I have any artifacts that I want to play? No, not artifacts. Do I have any leveling up materials? I need to level? No. So yeah, very excited to be able to work from Sydney properly, permanently. Because like, you know, all my friends, well, almost all my friends, and my family, not almost all my, okay, fair enough, some of my family are going to be in like Adelaide and stuff, but anyway, my family are home, my family are home in Sydney. Almost all of my friends are in Sydney. Yeah, I've made a couple of friends here in Brisbane as well, including these chuckle bunnies that I'm living with right now. But you know, it's always been the goal, to temporarily place myself in self-imposed exile. But then, all good exiles must come to an end. It will mean that like we'll be back to the usual, like streams will end a little bit earlier than they normally have been for the last 2 years, because my folks do want to go to sleep at a normal time, and frankly so do I these days. But yeah, but things will be cool, and then we'll start like then I'll start looking forward to other cool things. Like one thing I probably want to do. Ooh, I have been looking for a friggin' attack sand on set for a while now. Let's level that one up, guys, because I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use two piece attack, 2-piece attack on Shenhe. So that's why I'm farming here right now. I've got Layla here, just basically holding onto artifacts. So let's see. I have this one, but it's a bit shit. So let's Prage Lament. See what happens. All right, come on, something good. Something good. Fucking shit. God, that's so shit.
After a hard day's work. Nothing like it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Here comes the cash. Busted. Quietly now. Power that ended fight. Don't be scared.
Nowhere to run. Your sins weigh upon your soul. You stand condemned. Guilty. You stand condemned. Guilty.
There is actually like more to the story of me finally going home, but I think it's not like super duper important, and probably best not to talk about it. So the bottom line is, yeah, coming home. Woohoo! Alright. There's so much TV to watch today, man. Oh my god. I spent the last 2 hours watching TV. The Flash. I don't know why I still watch this show. Like, it's reached... I don't know, the thing about The Flash, the TV show, is that it's reached a point where even I'm kind of cringing. I don't know, man. I'm just starting to really notice it a lot. I'm happy for you. It sounds like you've been working hard and you've been streaming on this, so I had to give you props. Thanks, mate. Yeah, the thing about the Flash TV show is that, like, here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing, right? Spoiler alert, this episode... Oh, who the fuck cares? This episode involved Grodd, the gorilla. Now, what I find just truly fascinating from a post-production standpoint, right, is that somehow this show
Right here, right now.
can't seem to get humans to look good, in the sense that, like,
Forward to the shoulder.
when you have, like, the Flash CG sort of, like, running around,
Here, right now.
it's all rubbery and shit. Like, I don't know, there's just something wrong with it. But then you see Grodd, who has an entire fur sim, an entire groom,
Quiver.
which is like one of, if not the most difficult... No, it's not the most difficult thing to do. It's a... Oi! Oh no, I attacked the wrong one!
Hold the line.
It's a difficult thing to do.
Emerge. Right here. Right now.
It's a difficult and somewhat expensive thing to do. And yet the groom and the fur on Grodd looks phenomenal. It actually looks really, really good. So it's like, damn. You have, like, really, really good fur.
Rebuild.
You have a really, really good fur simulation. Like a really, really good fur simulation and groom for Grodd. But you have the most rubbery ass, like, Flash running, like, digi double tier CG bullshit. Like, I understand, like, it seems to me like, yeah, okay, clearly most of the budget of the episode went to the fur grooming of Grodd, but you couldn't have, like, you know, maybe pumped a bit more, maybe done a bit more to integrate those guys, or like make them look better. I don't know, they just look really, really scuffed. I don't know, man. It's so weird. And the worst part is, I notice it even more. Crap. I notice it more nowadays. I notice this kind of stuff a lot more these days because I work in the industry now. So, like, it's like when you work in the industry, especially in my position as a compositor, where part of it is actually, like, noticing, yeah, there's something wrong. There's something up, and we can't quite pinpoint what it is. Now, that being said, now after shitting on the production team with The Flash, let me offer an olive branch.
Storm the front.
Making humans look good is, like, arguably one of the most difficult things in the world to do. And the reason why is because
I'm always
people's eyes
right here.
are very, very in tune with noticing when there's something wrong with someone's face.
Torn to oblivion.
So, like, that's why it's really, really impressive when you see AI-generated images of people, and you don't immediately think, oh, this is AI-generated, there's something wrong with this person. When you're able to AI-generate an image of a person that is good enough to the point where people look at it and don't immediately snap and think, hey, what the hell is this? That's a good image. That's a good image of a person. And not just AI-generated people, like, obviously people-generated people. Like, if you're able to sculpt a person with such detail, that's very impressive. That is very impressive.
Right here.
So even though, like, I did just say, like, yo, these digi-doubles of the Flash
Nothing lasts forever.
are completely scuffed.
Right here.
That's because they are.
Billowing surge.
When... Okay, how many of us have seen Ant-Man?
Come on. Right now.
Specifically Quantum Mania. How many of us have seen Quantum Mania? I want a show of hands in the chat. I want to see how many people I'm about to spoil Quantum Mania. Oh my god, stop giving me freaking HP actually, you know what, no. I'll take HP cups, but still, How many people have seen Quantum Mania? Show of hands. Come on! Red Drone has not seen Quantum Mania. Okay. Okay, well you've had your... Okay, well everyone's had their chance. Okay, I'm about to spoil Quantum Mania. Slightly. Not really. Marginally. In a very minor fashion. Okay, here we go. Do you guys remember... the Hornet? You guys remember the Hornet guy from the first Ant-Man movie? And how he ended up shrinking infinitely into the quantum universe? So he's back. He basically what happened is he shrunk so much that all that remained in an even slightly normal size was his head. He basically got all fucked up. So he's MODOK. They basically made him MODOK, but they tried to do him realistically, which probably was not the best idea.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
Avengers 2 was a cop-out? Avengers 2?
Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Now you shall perish.
Wah! I probably should have waited for Kokomi to drop her healing first. The Ant-Man Avengers. The Ant-Man Avengers? Ant-Man wasn't in Avengers 2, what do you mean? Wait, what Ant-Man? Wait, what Avengers are you talking about, Shin? I'm so confused. Is this like a... Is this meant to be like a, what do you call it? An animated one? Endgame. Oh, Endgame. Endgame was a cop-out? No. No, Endgame was the logical... Wasn't that Ant-Man? Well, there was... Yeah, he was in... Yeah, he was in that. Yeah. Yeah. It was not a cop... I don't think it was a cop-out. It made logical sense. Of course they had to do what they had to do. They basically... Well, they lost. And then for 5 years, they basically had to struggle with it. And then Ant-Man showed up because the quantum universe works that way. Oh, quantum shit works that way. And then they were able to use that to actually fix everything. That makes sense to me. So anyway, MODOK. So basically, they turned the Wasp, not the Wasp guy. They turned the Hornet guy into MODOK. Folks, if you remember, MODOK is basically one great big ass head on a flying chair with tiny arms and tiny legs. So that's what they basically did for the CG of MODOK in Ant-Man in Quantumania. They actually went there. And it looks very, very weird. It looks very, very weird. And I think I know why. It's like somehow... It's like it seems like they actually like did the recording of the guy's head. Of the actor's head. But... somehow... It looked rubbery. It looked like it was missing something. And that something, I think, was subsurface category. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was just missing like subsurface category. It was missing also, it also didn't help that like half the time his head, which should be completely in focus, looked just that little bit too blurry. So like, essentially, it seemed to me like his head inside those scenes was never fully integrated, or dare I say even worse, they somehow ended up using lower res renders and just sort of upscale reformatted them without realizing, oh hang on, we should probably get like full res, absolutely crisp renders, because he's meant to be completely in focus, and yet for some reason he is not. Like, when everything else is in focus and then you see the guy, the head, and yet it's like the detail of the guy's face is just not there. It's like there should be more detail. We should be able to see like maybe some stubble. Like if we could see some stubble, couple of maybe a few like wrinkles, you know, because this is a dude who basically went through a very traumatic experience of being like shrunk down to quantum size, except he's left with just a head. He's left as just a head with like
To the will of
tiny arms and tiny legs.
each fish
How does he not have like some form of stress marks
own direction.
on his face? How does he not have like some wear and tear on his face? On top of the fact that he's supposed to, I think, be in his like mid-30s, if not like late 30s, I think the character's meant to be. Like it's just details on the guy's face that is just not quite there. But that being said, it is very, very difficult to make a person's face in CG look good. The reason why Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame is considered like really like phenomenal is because you look at him and every shot that he is in particular, especially in Infinity War, like they really showcased him in Infinity War, but every shot that he's in, he is precisely as sharp as he needs to be. And when he is sharp, you can see like the little details of his face. You can see not just his fucking grimace chin bullshit, whatever the hell that is, right? But you can also see like the pore, almost like the pores of his face and that kind of stuff. Like when you have that level of information, and when you have like that level of detail for Thanos in the film, he looks like he's actually there. And I think that's just something that was missing with MODOK. He was just missing that information. Good example, let's say your friend buys a specific model of car that you've seen. There's certainly, and once you have seen there, are you suddenly what? Good example, let's say your friend buys a specific model of car, and once you have seen it, are you more aware of it more often? It's always there, you just didn't know about it till you... Red Drone, do you want to write that again? I am struggling to read that entire question. Can we get some punctuation in there as well, please? I am a little bit confused about what you're trying to say. I think are you trying to say like when your friend buys a specific model of car and now you're finally aware of it, and so now you suddenly see it all over the place? Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you this. Not with a car. But I remember I learned about something in high school. And when I learn about that thing in high school, I'm suddenly more aware of it existing. Somehow, like, I don't remember what it was, but like, I suddenly hear about it more in the news, and I thought, damn, well, that's kind of weird. Why is it that I'm almost certain that I've never heard of this particular thing before in the news, but then the moment I learn about it in high school, in like high school geography or something like that, boom, suddenly it pops up in the news today, tomorrow, the day after that. Like, is it because I learned about it during that class that I am now significantly more aware of it? You know? It's like, for example, there is a bear that constantly follows people around, and there's a bear that constantly follows people around. But for the longest time, for some reason, you never noticed it. It is only when there is an announcement, attention everyone, there is a bear that follows everyone. Be careful. Only then do you suddenly look around and you see the fucking bear. And you're like, wait, what? But the bear's been there since day one. How have I not noticed the bear until I was told about the bear? So yeah, it's the same kind of thing with yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the same kind of thing as with me working in CG. Whenever I watch an ad now, I am immediately I get immediately like hyper aware that like, oh yeah, that character is CG. Oh yeah, well obviously there's some obvious examples like, oh yeah, it's a talking bird. Obviously that's CG. There's no fucking way they found an actual talking bird, right? But then it's even more like it's other things. It's like I watch a TV show and I immediately think, oh, there's probably some VFX involved in these shots. It doesn't look like there should be any VFX involved in these shots, but I bet your ass there is somewhere. And what could that possibly be? Oh, there was a poster. There was a poster somewhere and they don't want it, so they got rid of it. Oh, there was this thing, they didn't like it, so they changed it. Oh, someone accidentally left a fucking wire on the ground, so they got rid of that. The coffee cup! Remember Coffee Cup Gate from Game of Thrones? When someone unironically accidentally left a coffee cup on the table during for one of the shots, where this was like after the long night. After the long night, when they managed to defeat the zombies, the undead, the whites, the fuck, what are they called? The night king, and they were like celebrating and shit. And there was a shot where someone accidentally left a freaking coffee cup on the table. What that actually... Not only did someone leave a coffee cup on the table, someone also forgot, or it was never, or I guess it was never budgeted for the post-production studio. The reality is it probably wasn't budgeted for the post-production studio to get some cleanup work done for that coffee cup. It's not that someone forgot, it's just that it's just that the studio wasn't paid to do that. And so the studio were like, well, if they're not paying us to do it, then fuck it. We already have like too many things to deal with. It's Game of Thrones. There's like CG and all sorts of shit all over the place.
Surrender and I'll be
Time to go.
So yeah. So the fact that a coffee cup was left there and then it was removed. VFX, baby. So remember, whenever you see shots in like TV shows, movies, where there's tables everywhere, and you wonder, is there any VFX involved in any of these shots of just people talking and sitting in front of each other, just talking on with a table? Like, surely there's no VFX involved in these shots, right? Just assume someone left a coffee cup on every single one of those fucking tables. Just assume, yeah, there's VFX, and it's because someone left a coffee cup on every one of the tables. Sorry for bad spelling, I'm very dyslexic. I was going back to bed before I kinda got hooked into conversation. No worries, mate. It sounds to me like you need a nap. Feel free to stick around if you're feeling like it, but yeah, you probably should go and take a nap. Oh, also, Mara, announcement. I'm going back to Sydney. Boom, there it is. Permanently. Not because I was fired, but because I'll be working from Sydney. From the Sydney office, so... let's go. Alright, everyone, it's time. time for the Dehya story quest, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try popping in to talk to you later, man. Alright, no worries, Red Drone. Have a good day. Or good night, I don't know. Okay. Let's turn up the music, because there might be some interesting music for the Dehya story quest. Alright. Let's learn about Dehya.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
Hey.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
Isn't that like a big ass dish? I don't remember.
We can still add it to the list.
Well, there goes our money.
The Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, hey, dude, Yazard.
Expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
What's up, dude, Yazard?
So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming.
Apparently the Chinese community thinks that Dehya and dude Yazard are hooking
So
up.
I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping.
Maybe, but
But the master kept insisting, and I ended
let's
up
go with
staying
best
for another
friends.
day.
You can stay for as many
totally
days as you
hooking
want,
up.
Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
Oh.
She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that.
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
And now that she can visit because she doesn't have frickin' Elazar.
Can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Oh.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said.
Damn.
But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Just tell her, Dehya.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
Yeah.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know.
How did this just
Go
suddenly turn
somewhere
into
else
couples
first.
therapy?
This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention.
Okay.
As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave.
Uh-huh.
However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Oh.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
King Deseret.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've
Wait,
already
Al
crossed
Ammar.
paths with Ain al-Akmar.
Oh yeah,
They're one of the
true.
groups under the Relics banner.
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relics headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control.
Huh.
On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
So
I
different to
think it means
Ain al
beard or
Akmar.
something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years.
Beard of Alma.
Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Wait,
Hey, what
what?
now?
I think I'm starting to understand your
Oh
anxiety.
shit, this is a story about daddy issues.
Do?
I won't go
Okay.
into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Shit.
Hundreds.
Yep, the scenes tend to be quite gruesome too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years.
Is
I
your
don't do
dad a
something
moderate
about
voice
them,
within the Khan al
and even my
Akmar, or is he
brigade
just
or
part of the...
Kilaru
Was he
village
leading
could
the
become
charge?
Next target.
Oh wait, no, he's the
I
leader.
wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Shit.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
Well, it's time to put his ass down, I guess.
Change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him?
Oh, you were
Loud
part of the
and
team.
Foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing
I mean, that
anything
makes
useful,
sense.
He spent most of
He
his
is
time
apparently your
drinking and
dad.
chasing after women.
Can I still get to hire when Switch version
Of course, the
releases?
other
Yeah,
brigade
because she'll be on the standard banner.
Their ruckus would go on night after night.
You absolutely can actually get her. You can get all the characters except Aloy when
Did she ever
the
fall
Switch
into
version
something?
releases. Because they will all get reruns
I
eventually.
knew my mother.
Except Aloy.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with
Oh.
some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
Okay. Now I just feel really, really sorry for Dehya. She basically was raised in the school of hard knocks. Her entire life has been fucked. From day one. Oh my lord.
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Right.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats,
Oh.
it started to get a little dull.
Fair enough.
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, sounds like a bit of an asshole. Doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions. That's not what I would say. I hear this entire story and I think, yeah, no, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much trouble. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That
Okay.
may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
We figure this out. We're gonna beat some ass.
But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, I'm your boss, so...
Super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem would be solved in no time.
Yeah, true.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
Alright, let's do this.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady.
Aw, you too.
Let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Okay. I think,
I've been waiting for you for 8...
I sure hope they'll be okay.
we'll be okay, dude, Yazard. Hang on. Gotta get a photo. I have like an entire collection of like random photos. Of just random things like this. I don't think I ever used them for anything, but I just have I just have a collection of like random photos. Guess I'm playing Birdloy without a healer. And then I'm not going to play Medic Nahida.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Haroon.
There's
Oh,
no
he seems
need
like
to
a
be
chill
so
dude.
formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Akhmar's been up to lately.
Oh,
They've
okay.
become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They
Shit.
even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Have they gone
Even
mad?
those ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
Terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct
안녕하세요, Zeus. How's it going?
learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Civil war?
Wait,
Oh shit.
a power struggle?
You heard me right.
What, is your dad
The vast
dead?
majority of their victims are mercenaries from
Still
the
recovering from an ankle injury?
Threats
Oof.
relics. If their only goal was
What you
Mora,
do?
they could have gone after anybody.
Soccer?
The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific.
Skateboard accident.
It
Oh,
seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps.
that's why I don't skate. Mainly because every time I get on a skateboard, I fall flat on my ass.
Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active. Deshret's
Scooters are the way
as a
for me,
whole
or
got
bikes.
weaker.
Lately I've been using electric scooters and also electric bikes. They're quite nice. Not gonna lie, they actually are pretty cool. One of my colleagues actually rides on an electric skateboard, on the way to work. So I don't know how he does it without falling flat on his ass.
It sounds mighty strange to me too.
But then again, I don't really understand how
You can
skateboarders in
leave the rest of
general
the investigation to us.
skateboard without
Gotta
falling
say,
flat on their
though,
ass and
I didn't expect you to go
achieving
on a whole undercover
broken
mission
bones.
during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
I take it.
Nah,
What, did
she
you
never
get your
said
ankle
that.
like
We're
covered
just
up,
as
plastered
concerned
up, and
about the
everything?
situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Who's this?
We did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Who the hell are these two?
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf.
Bandage.
You're
yeah.
here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new
Ah,
friend of yours looks a
Yeah,
little green
bandages,
behind the
ice
ears,
packs, yeah,
I'm
all that
sensing a
jazz.
special vibe from her.
One of my colleagues actually ended
Now
up
that
with
we
an
know you have a
injury
capable partner with
playing
you, you
soccer.
can also rest easy.
Had to go through the whole kit and caboodle.
Feel anything special?
What do you call it?
Oh,
Uh,
still
Crutches,
planning to tag along with
a
them?
whole ass like special shoe looking thing, you know.
Important guide.
Yeah.
Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh,
It's pretty
in
nuts.
that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon.
Yeah, Paimon's the god of time. Heads up.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the Traveler here. Even if you
Fucking
had
get
only
called
survived
out.
on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
Get called out, Paimon.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt
I
guys.
collided with a cyclist and
Deputy
fell at a
put lot of effort into the
staircase.
event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to
What?
stay, and that really got to him.
What? Okay, explain. Explain yourself. So, cyclist and you collided, and it just so happened to be at a spot where there's some stairs going down. So not only did you smash into them, you then fell down the stairs that were right there. Is that what happened? That's just bad luck, like times 500, dude. I'm surprised all you had was an ankle injury at that point. I would have thought that you'd get like a broken arm somewhere. Potentially a hairline fracture somewhere. The fact that you didn't go to the hospital, I think, would be pretty shocking. Damn. Well, get well soon, buddy. Get well soon. You know, I once was riding an electric scooter down the road, like on the walk path, and just as I go in front of this car, the car goes forward. But then stops. But the car goes forward. And so I nearly got ran over by a car while I'm on an electric scooter. And another time, this is so dumb. This was like the dumbest moment. This was like the dumbest moment on an electric scooter. Because of the fact that the electric scooter has like such small wheels, I just went. I tried to like go onto a driveway ramp to go from the road back onto the walk path, but because that driveway ramp had like just that little bit of a bump, and I went like how do I do this? And I went like almost like side on, not front on, but I kind of like rode side on to try and go like that. The angle was just acute enough that, and because the wheels were so small, I fell. I just completely. It basically launched me off the friggin'. It launched me off the scooter. Oh, that was so dumb. If the wheels were bigger, I would be fine. But because it's a scooter, so the wheels are tiny. Those wheels just enough of the wheel must have hit the side of the bump, causing me to actually fall off the damn scooter. My arm basically was completely, not completely fucked. My arm basically hurt intermittently for like a week. I probably may have gotten a hairline fracture, but I never went to a physio, so I don't know. But yeah, my arm hurt, legit hurt for like a week, and it sucks because I work in CG. I need this arm to not hurt so I can like do stuff.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more
My family doesn't even know about it.
Ranks.
Keep dreaming.
If it's minor enough,
Last time I invited
don't
a couple
bother letting
gals
them
in the
know,
brigade,
because otherwise you're just
you
gonna
all
get like
froze
all
up
sorts of
your mouths
stupid
gaping
questions and
like a bunch of
annoyance.
Scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
Yep.
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it.
What the fuck?
That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it.
Keep just
Though,
running around.
I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dekan al-Ahmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Alright.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
Alright, let's go. Wait, it's over here. Okay.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
Alright, sounds good.
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
That's fine, we could beat
Don't
ass.
worry, she knows her way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them.
Okay.
Here they come. You ready? Let's
Alright.
not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Alright, let's beat some ass. Burnley.
Everyone hold hands.
Got something for ya.
Into the wind.
What's alive? Hot!
You won this one.
Sutter.
You're the Flame Mane.
Yep.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
Yeah.
About 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
She knows what she's doing.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Wait, what?
Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
But why would he be so extreme?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I
Damn.
didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
We can take him to Dehya and have her
Don't
read his
worry about
mind.
it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
I see everything.
He's out cold. Some weapons and a bunch of medicine and bandages. Oh, okay. Daily necessities, food and water. Okay.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
Kusela being her dad. Bashar.
All familiar names. Dakhan al-Akmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakhan al-Akmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
They don't want to leave a paper trail? I don't know.
Perhaps, but they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records.
Dory might know something about this then.
There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
Hey?
What's wrong?
Shahzaman Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Oh shit.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman
Oh,
Homayani
shit.
is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Oh, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, okay, we need to analyze the situation.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet.
Perhaps they're selling stuff to someone
What
else?
this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakhan al-Akmar.
Well, why would they do that?
Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakhan al-Akmar.
Is that
That's
possible?
a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shahzaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
Perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time. We need to talk to
Funding violence and loot.
we need to talk to Dunyarzad about
Brigade
this.
gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea.
It's because you don't get rich by not selling shit, I guess. Like, even though the family is rich, they do want to try and stay rich. And sometimes, in order to stay rich, they keep doing the shady shit.
I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows about this either.
You're
No,
probably
true.
right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from
Yeah,
us.
Dunyarzad seems like a good person.
What should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
Yeah, we won't be able to turn back as soon as we start figuring this out. It's a rabbit hole. It's
you ask
100% a
me,
rabbit hole.
We already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried.
Alright.
It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakhan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
That's actually not an actually unironically not a bad concern.
I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
And we did read her mind.
Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
We read Dunyarzad's mind with Nahida. She seems genuinely worried. I think she's in the clear.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
That's why you gotta bring Nahida to all Sumeru quests. Because Nahida can provide some additional context. Sometimes that additional context is borderline meaningless, but she can provide some additional context. Which is why I'm more like I'm more, what was the word? I'm more certain that Dunyazad is fine.
Can there still possibly be a good ending to all of this? They are father and daughter after all.
See? If she's in on it, I don't think she would be thinking that.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
Mm-hmm.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
Maybe we should just tell it to us straight.
Something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyazad, we're back! So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father?
Yep.
Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Oh shit.
My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Do you know anything about this?
It makes as little sense to us as it does to you.
I don't think she knows anything about
I've never
this.
doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
But it just seems so unlikely, yeah, true.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyazad?
Do you know something we
Thank you
don't?
for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
Oh shit.
In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of Mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but
Okay.
that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely.
It is a
At
little bit
first
too
glance,
suspicious to be a
nothing
coincidence,
seems
true.
Strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean
Son and,
goal all
or rather,
along was to get Dehya
father
to
and
be your
daughter
bodyguard?
to basically play both sides.
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
That's actually not a bad
So
point.
the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
We're kind of rationalizing ourselves into this particular point, into this particular conclusion.
Sorry we put all of this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh.
Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homiyani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Tia.
I think we need Seno.
If anyone were to
we need
ask,
Seno in
you
this.
could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
Yeah, true friendship is built on trust, true.
Yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone.
Maybe.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess
But
I should
he is
always
very
remember the
sus
trust
right
that
now.
I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Let's
Sure thing.
confront his ass about it.
I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
The bench. The bench, right?
This way, Turtle.
Oh. I forget that, like, Sumeru music is just, beautiful. Has always been beautiful.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter
Shahzaman.
has mentioned them from time
Hello.
to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
Oh shit, here we go.
Mind, we'd like an explanation.
Yep, here we go.
It's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Oh shit, here we go.
I understand perfectly why you came to see me, and I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His
What?
heartfelt efforts. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support.
Wait, it's not. Don't tell me Dunyazad and Dehya are actually half sisters. No, that can't be. Is that what's happening?
I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar.
Okay.
Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
Okay.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father.
Okay.
To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
Okay.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
Oh.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
Did he get Elixir?
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he recommended you.
He was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Huh.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago.
Oh,
The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
Should have stopped you. Should have also stopped asking for materials. Yeah.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had.
Maybe it's not even. Maybe it's not even Kusela who's actually making the request anymore.
I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world.
We're already tangled up.
If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Is there another way of looking at all of this? I don't know.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him and
I don't know.
he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30.
Oh.
He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts.
Okay, let's find this dude.
That he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern.
Oh.
Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose.
We tell Senno.
It's time to face my mistakes.
We tell Senno. Your sins weigh upon your soul. Oh. Well, there he is.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. Over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of us. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Khan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of more from my last run. Just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
You try to bribe us?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Okay.
That's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Just my luck. How did I get caught by her of all people?
Okay. I'm surprised the higher story quest doesn't involve any of the new desert. It's a lot of old desert.
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
Alright, alright.
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Why are you here?
Let's get it on!
Wait, how are you built, Dehya? 43k HP? What the fuck? Alright, Beacon of Red Seas, Four piece necklace. Fuck's sake. C3. Well, that explains why you do so much more. Oh! Max HP increased by 20% as well. Okay. Triple 8 talents. Yeah, makes sense.
This is a new one.
What's a pa?
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. That's got nothing to do with you.
Come on.
I was kind of hoping that Dehya would have her ult.
No, she's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore.
We can still beat more ass. What?
Do you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
Is Kusela dead?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore.
Why?
He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
You didn't tell her?
Years ago, Kusela broke up Khan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So they murdered his ass. Oh, shit.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, Do you know how the head of the relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
Huh.
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics who didn't know about it.
Wait, what?
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses.
So that's why he suddenly ended up in a cane.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world.
Oh my god, Takriti's voice.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Kept getting beaten up.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well.
Oh shit.
But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your
There were
revenge.
people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered
Do you know
plenty
who
of
they
losses
are?
as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Yeah, agreed. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life.
But you're wasting
Boss
it right now.
always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
Damn.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with him?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
We're with you all the way, buddy. Let's go.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Agreed.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
Okay, let's go.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Mm-hmm.
Deshret's relics are about to become history. Deshret's relics are about to become history.
Wait, do you think the same as well?
I guess it all comes down to this. Oh, my son.
Your son?
I guess it all comes down to this.
Bro.
Okay. Where are we going? Oh. Cache de suit. Headquarters are in Cache de suit? Damn. Okay, how am I going to make my way there?
Oh, yeah.
Pro RNG YouTube, hey, thanks for the raid. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Oh god, where is this?
This thing is fun.
Oh, what's up there? Hey? I'm doing good, how are you? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. What you been up to today? Do I have a key? I don't have a key! It's a freaking shrine here, man. Currently we're doing the Dehya story quest, if you're wondering. Just farming artifacts, a crap ton of artifacts. Oh yeah, what set? What are you trying to go for? I'm in the process of trying to... I'm just in the process of like continuing to pre-farm for Shunha when she finally comes out so I can finally get Shunha.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
How have I never been here?
I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
I've never noticed this place before. Spent 1400 resin on VV. Damn. And did you get anything good? Because what would you be looking for? Like triple EM pieces and stuff like that? I'm also going for Ayaka and Shunha. Good luck when she comes out. I'll be swiping for Shunha. Like I'm
taking the stage.
Like 100% I'm getting Shunha. Got a few proper EM pieces, which is good.
Wow.
Nice.
Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
Yeah, it's all
They
blown
should all
up.
be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Let's beat some ass.
We should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I fought through many situations like this before, true.
We'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them.
Got a few pretty much safe with them, yeah, so I hope I get them. Good luck, buddy. Are you going to go for Ayaka first or Shunha first?
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Alright, here we go. Hello, boys.
Happy to oblige. Got something for you.
Not welcome here.
Let's get it on. You're stuck now.
New punches. The clouds high. The birds come into the wind.
Amp it up. Gloves off.
That's closer.
Well,
Waya! Do 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 do.
One with nature.
Do 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 do.
I'm sick of the line. This is a new
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oof.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Alright, let's go. Just straight up wish for them as soon as they come out. Hell yeah, let's go.
wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Maybe there aren't any traps.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's
Okay.
go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better!
Let's see.
Well, I see a contraption over there.
I think I see a way through over there, but it's
Yeah.
being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go!
Yeah, I already have Ayaka. And for some reason I ended up getting C1 Ayaka. Don't ask, it was very annoying. So naturally, as an Aloy main, I want to try and get Shenhe ASAP. That's what I'm going to try and do. I don't really care about getting Ayaka.
got something for you. Power cord. The hunt is on.
This may turn a little.
Really nice. Yeah, man. Aloy mains are actually...
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Oh, well that was easy. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna lurk, grab some dinner, have fun with the rest of your stream. Thank you. Yeah, I was just gonna say before we got interrupted, Aloy mains have actually been kind of eating good lately.
Let's get it on! You're stuck now!
Committed to memory.
Pyrotechnics! You asked for it!
Booyah! So yeah, as an Aloy main, I can't complain.
Ever seen one of these? Into the wind. Amp it up! Look alive! This is a new one.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strike!
Power core! Gloves off! Got something for you.
Oh, Aloy! Alright, what do we got? Alright, that's fine.
Time to go.
Change color. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, this is a boss arena if I've ever seen one. This is a fucking boss arena. And there's a chest there.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Okay.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run. Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing.
And what is that?
The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Well, get down here. We're gonna beat your ass.
Draw our weapons. We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers.
Okay.
They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
Okay.
Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Let's get it on! The hunt is on!
What's Oh, what?
Got something for you.
I'll be back. Don't think that you run. You're just getting started.
This is a new one.
I see everything.
Deshrek will not abandon any one of its followers.
Shred till I'm dead.
Go there.
You're dead meat.
My patience will. Now! Brothers! This is where we'll prove our faith.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
You're stuck now.
Your sacrifice is ready.
Surely not.
Amp it up. Where do you think you're going?
Exact.
For it. But will we again?
Alrighty. That was good.
Commander has finally fallen.
That was actually interesting.
Coming at us.
Then we'll beat them all.
This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Okay. Oh, the boys are here.
Get out of my way!
Oh, hello.
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Vengeance. Dead.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
Wait, what? Dead.
We were too late.
Wait, what?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Alright.
Let's go.
So he just fucking offed himself, did he? Man, and I was ready to like put some hurt in the dirt. Fuck is this? Just completely scuffed scaffolding? Oh, give me that paper.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your
Shut
last
up.
chance to talk.
Interesting name.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering.
Yep.
Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean, The one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in.
What?
But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Yeah, true. Beat their ass if they start to run.
Crazy. Every last one.
Kaz needs a chicken burger. Wait, what else is around here? Oh, we got this schmuck who's dead. What?
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire?
Maybe he was bullshitting.
If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
And then he was never seen again.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Okay. Oh, here's his cane.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
Suspiciously fortunate.
Like that?
Skeleton? I mean, that would be really fucked up. No shot are they going to keep that in the... They're not putting a fucking skeleton in the game. Oh, it's a sword. It's a sword in the cane. Ah.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
The whole story was shared with the core of 30, who finally joined the investigation in the name of restoring order. The members of Deshret's relics were brought to justice, and the members of Dakhan al-Ahmar turned themselves into the authorities. The cane that was brought. Fuck. I can't read that fast. The cane is back.
What's this?
We got you all. We got you some snacks and drinks on Paimon's tab.
You
True.
remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say.
Wait, when was this?
Opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
It's actually my treat, but you get the point. True.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one.
Yeah, from the price of me.
Is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything did happen pretty damn fast. True.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites. All of us.
I don't necessarily agree with this.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Yeah, we're all good.
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together, true.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Alright, let's go to the Grand Bazaar.
Gotta...
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Oh, hello.
Hey, aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk?
Oh yeah, you are.
Are you here to take revenge on us?
Oh, we're gonna beat your ass.
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight?
Oh, his tongue is actually...
To give you something.
He's actually... his tongue is actually still hurting.
Up to the core after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence.
His tongue is actually all fucked up.
But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves into the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to
That's actually kind of hilarious voice acting, not gonna lie. I'm glad that this dude actually committed.
Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
I'm glad this dude committed to the role.
This box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well,
It's also very
back
small.
in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule,
Wait,
he could
what?
have at least copied something
You can't possess
useful.
books for personal use, the fuck?
Probably means this was really important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Ugh. What else is in the
Did
box?
he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did.
Uh-huh.
Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it.
Common sense
Let
ain't
me
that
see what
common.
else is in here.
Is there a photo of your mom?
Razors, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
It's your mom?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. Two empty liquor bottles.
Damn, he could fit that all in a small box?
Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
What an interesting man.
There's something in the bottle.
What? It's booze.
You're right.
It's booze.
All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter for me?
Do you want to read it out loud?
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone.
Mm-hmm.
You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Hmm.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
What?
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
Hi.
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you.
Oh, shit.
Lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
Oh, shit.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice.
So we have no idea who her parents are.
I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Is that a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
Well, that's true.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me.
Oh.
I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure,
I hope they keep up the story.
I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
Like a random event where she just pops up and says, hey, I was randomly looking around and I may have found a lead. Oh, let's go and investigate it. And we go and fight some shit and it kind of ends up going all over the place. It suddenly becomes mostly unrelated and then we just move the fuck on. Oh, okay.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much.
And then it turns out this is actually
Life has
integral to the
certainly had twists and
3.6
turns, but I've always
Dehya's
considered
second
myself
story quest.
lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Boom. The fact that there's never going to be a part 2 because there haven't been part 2s for other 5-star story quests is just fucking absurd. Or Ventis, for that matter. All the Archons except Venti have gotten part 2s for their story quest, and Nahita's gonna get a part 2 as well. Venti never got a part 2. None of the other 5 stars got part 2s for their story quest, so we're like kind of left in the dark as to like, oh, what else happened, man? But didn't Nilu's story quest kind of continued with the Archon quest.
Come on. Enough stand.
Being the rescue. Nilu's part in the rescue can kind of, I feel like it can kind of naturally progress from the Nilu story quest, so I kind of feel like the rescue part of the Archon quest is Nilu's second story quest. At least her part anyway. But like there's not gonna be a Dehya story. There's not gonna be a Dehya story quest 2.
This'll pack a punch.
Into the wind.
Ah.
So many regrets.
Agreed.
I see everything.
You're dead meat. This is a new one.
Wind strike.
Commit it to memory.
Ever seen one of these?
That was ridiculous. I need Yo-Yo.
I'll take good care of everyone.
Thank you, Yo-Yo. Oh my god, wasted ults. Misclicks. Wasted ults and misclicks for days.
Don't be scared.
I sometimes can't tell if my Yo-Yo needs way more of a stat, because it feels like I'm not healing enough sometimes. But then I am. Maybe I'm just too used to playing Dory. And now I'm like way too used to 11k heals. So then I see Yo-Yo's somewhat fastest ticks with like a 1600. And I think that's not enough.
This'll pack a punch. Let's get it on.
One with nature.
Oh my fucking god.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Gloves off.
Oh my god, really?
Ever seen one of these?
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but fuck, man. Man, they really fucked up Dehya's ult. Not even from a damage perspective, just from a pure gameplay perspective, man. You get frozen, you lose your ult. You get bubbled, you lose your ult. Apparently, you fight something in such a way that you end up getting like thrown up into space, you lose your ult. Holy fuck. It's like too many random RNG things that happen that'll cause you to lose your ult. And not only that, this current abyss, spiral abyss, you can get frozen. Oh fuck, even the next spiral abyss you can get frozen. So it's like they really are doing everything they can it really looks like they're doing everything they can to just make the hire not appealing from a gameplay perspective.
Stuck now.
The wind knows me.
You're dead meat. This'll pack a punch.
Oh. Like, yeah, Aloy might be not that, you know, might not seem like that appealing on a meta perspective, on a damage perspective, but there's like, aside from the ICD on her fucking grenade, on her stacks, there's nothing really that is preventing you from actually like playing Aloy in some meaningful capacity. Like, if you get frozen, you get frozen, okay. Whereas, like, with the high, you get frozen, you're fucked. You're up slightly, you're fucked. With Aloy, if your ult misses, then your ult misses, but that's the same with everyone. and in that case, you're fucked. Ow.
Don't be scared. Got something for ya.
One with nature.
Look alive. This is a new one.
There we go. Yeah, I really should do a video on Polar Star versus R4 Skyharp. It really seems like my R4 Skyharp is better. I guess the crit damage that you get as part of the passive is just really, really strong. For R4 Skyharp anyway. Which is like plus 35%, right? Yeah, plus 35% crit damage, which is just nuts. Yeah, the crit rate is lower by 10%. As long as you have enough crit rate on your build, you should be okay.
Ever seen one of these? Buckle up. Hi.
Clouds high. The birds come.
The hunt is on.
My crit rate on Aloy is still like, what, 65? 65%, which is still pretty good. Pretty good, all things considered. I could potentially change the build around a little bit. Yeah, I can change the build around. Yeah, I changed the build around a little bit. I go for this. I go for this. I go for this. Ooh. No, I go for this. And then I run... Yeah, I run this. And for 69%. 69, you know, 69 crit rate. Okay, there we go. Nearly 70% crit rate, so about 3/10 of the time my ult will not crit. And those 3/10 of the time is going to be very, very fucking annoying, but aside from that, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely perfectly fine. So, like, yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. So I think that's probably going to be why I kind of stopped using Polar Star on Aloy. And then I'm kind of left wondering, like, well, fuck, who am I going to use it on? Tart? I could still prefer run V-Hunt on Tart.
The wind knows me.
Oh, crap. Through me, justice is served. Feels good to just be able to oh, hang on, no. Feels good to be able to comfortably play Melt Lord without having to rely on ults. Like, yeah, Dehya doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But I really appreciate this one thing that Dehya can do. That I don't want to fucking rely on Shangling and Toma for because they need ults. And that's just cringe. I could potentially rely on Xin Yan, but in order to do that, I either have to rely on an ult, or I have to hit like 2 enemies. And sometimes we're not going up against 2 enemies, we're just going up against 1. In which case I'm kind of screwed. She looks angry, best girl? Yeah, man. Well, if you're watching Xin, she is an angry girl. Oh.
You're stuck now.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my
Did my ult just not crit twice?
gloves off.
Gloves off!
Cut down. Like this.
Get your ass beat. Get your ass beat. Is Japanese gloves off any good? Oh, let's find out. We can actually have a look at her voiceover. We can actually have a look at her voiceovers. Elemental burst.
耐えられるかな耐えられるかな
Kairaruka.
ここであんたを潰す
That means you're dead meat.
ここであんたを潰す歯食いしばれよ
You asked for it.
歯食いしばれよ
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think every single character from Sumeru, English voice over Japanese voice. Right now with the exception of Tinari because... But yeah, every single Sumeru character, English voice actors have been... The English voice actors for the Sumeru characters have been absolutely popping off. Gloves off is pretty good, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not saying the English voice actors are better, implying that the Japanese voice actors are the Japanese voiceovers are bad. The Japanese voiceovers are pretty good as well. Like even like for a lot of the characters, even when I'm playing like Japanese Sumeru characters in Japanese, they sound pretty good. You know, I'm actually starting to like oh crap. I'm actually starting to like Dory's Japanese voice, which is like the meme one. Like the unironic meme one, I'm liking that one as well.
Something for ya.
The wind knows me.
You're stuck now.
The la 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 Watakashi wa mora wa ureshi Mora mora takushi yo aishidemasu no. That one. That's Dory, the Japanese voice for Dory. Also known as the super duper meme voice. Yeah, it's a fucking meme voice, but you know what? I'm all for it, man. I just appreciate that they went all the way. Like when I first heard it from like a leak, I thought, there's no way this is real. There's no way that is real, and then it turned out to be real. And you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. The voice actor was able to just go like fucking balls to the wall. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. It's like 12 and I do want to go to sleep. I'm feeling a bit tired myself. Thanks for watching everyone, and by everyone I think I mean exclusively Shin at the present moment, but also everyone else who joined in, especially those who popped by to listen to the big announcement. Yeah, let's go. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, don't forget to follow and feel free to sub. If you're watching on YouTube now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to Pro RNG YouTube, by the way, for the raid, even though it's just a raid of 1, but still a raid's a raid, so thank you for the raid. But yeah, otherwise, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace!
Got something for ya.
Into the wind.
Buckle up.
Cheap tricks.
This is a new one.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
For dead meat. You're stuck now.
Come down like this.
Ever seen one of these?
Don't be scared.
One with nature.
Let's get it on.
Cheap tricks.
As one with wind and cloud.
Gloves off.
And you.
This'll pack a punch.
Fall before me.
Look alive. This is a new one.
You Glade, you're up.
One strike will suffice.
Got something for ya.
Into the wind.
Buckle up.
Clouds high. The birds come.
You're dead meat.
You win this battle.
Don't be scared.
You're stuck now.
Go get him, you Glade.
Strike will suffice.
This'll pack a punch.
One with nature.